Watch out, you might get what you're after. Strange, but not a stranger. I'm an ordinary guy, burning down the house. Hold tight, wait till the party's over. Hold tight, we're in for nasty weather. There has got to be a way. Burning down the house. Hello, VTubers. Well, I thought I'd bring this because we've had the Partygate report. Do you remember back in the lockdown, like I said, they were partying like it was 1999? Yes! So it does rather throw up questions, doesn't it, VTubers? Which I can't say on the VTubers. I can't, because if I do, I might get put in the Tower of Bleeding London. So, where are we? The report's come out, and here we have the soon-to-be Sir Jacob Rees-Mogg, courtesy of Borisovsky. Yes! He's made him a bleeding sir. Yeah, he was going to make that other thing a dame, and I think his dad was going to be a sir, but they put the bleeding mockers on that, didn't they? YouTubers on yes. They weren't having none of that. No, they bleeding well weren't. No! Especially his dad, because, I mean, it's pretty well reported and in enough public domain that he was what one might call a domestic abuser. And we don't want any of those in the Houses of Parliament or Lords or something or other. Now, do we, VTubers? No, we blooming well don't. So anyway, the reports come out from Harriet Harperson. Now, I might take a little take you by the hand and take you nostalgically backwards in time to the 1970s, when the dear Harriet Harperson, that will no doubt end up herself in the House of Lords one day and likely be a baroness or a summit or other, whatever, was actually the biggest proponent of the PIE, which is the something to do with P's and files information exchange, which was a codicil or part of the umbrella which was civil rights. Yes, yes. In the 1970s, she loved it. She didn't give a stuff VTubers. No, she blooming well didn't. Yes, give them all rights. That was her thing. So anyway, she's been elevated now as Harriet Harperson after being in Tony Blair, whatever his name was, in What Lights a Cottage. Yes, she was in his government, wasn't she? So all's forgiven probably, VTubers. So, where are we? The report says that your Borisovsky is nothing but a bleeding liar. Who'd have thought it? Are you offended? Are you? Well, I'll be blowed. And so will he later on, no doubt, when Carrie gets hold of him. Yes! Well, here we go. So we've got his Jacob Rees-Mogg, who he elevated to be the leader of the House of Commons while he was Prime Minister, and he's now made him a Sir, which I don't know what that means. Does he go to the Lords? I do not care. Stuff. Anyway, shall we hear what they've got to say? Come on, little Lord Fauntleroy here. Come on, Jacob. Let's hear you defend the indefensible, darling. Yes, polish a turd, live on YouTube.
Harriet Harm.
I've slowed him down because he's obviously been celebrating what with him being made a lord or something or other and benighted as something no one gives stuff now.
Position in this report.
Yes.
Before she became chairman,
yes,
she had publicly tweeted her criticisms
Yes.
and her disbelief in Boris
Yes.
Johnson.
I think we've all done that, darling.
And you must
Yes,
remember that the...
Jacob, you need to stay off the pims, darling. Listen, we all knew you're all a load of bleeding liars, naysayers, and ne'er-do-wells, basically. I mean, if you weren't bleeding pilfering all your bleeding expenses, you're behaving like complete, and you were involved as well, because I've seen the footage of you at the parties, darling, so don't give me that. I mean, the lady doth protest too much on this case, really. At the end of the day, he did wrong, and I don't give a stuff. What I do care about is all the children that were abused while he locked down the country, and they were left with their abusers, which they were on. What were they? They were at risk register, yes. And 6, from my reckoning, died that we know about. Is there any more going through the courts? We don't know. But you could bet your bottom dollar there was thousands, probably hundreds of thousands of children that were locked down with their abusers for a ridiculous amount of time while he's plumbing, bleeding, Carrie up there and getting her up the spud and telling everybody else not to swim in the sea in case you get COVID. Yeah, and if you have a shower, you've got to wear a mask. Stupid bleeding law. But come on. Do tell me.
Lords.
Yes.
And the Law Lords were a committee
Law
of
Lords.
Parliament
Yes.
exactly the same way
Sounds
as
something on Star Wars, doesn't it? Law Lords. I don't know how you look, even dare call yourself Lords. Narcissists might be a more pertinent
Privileges
title.
Committee had
Yes.
the Hoffman principle.
You're all wrong.
When Lord Hoffman
Oh, this
ruled
is Jacob. This is what he's like. Yeah, little Lord Fauntleroy. Yeah, what you do is now he's been on Google, and he's going to quote chapter and verse different analogies over the years of parliamentary history. He's probably been reading Hansard's, which is their parliamentary bleeding book diary, where everything that ever happened from the beginning of time since William the Bleeding Conqueror is written in the bleeding book. And old Jacob, he seems to have eaten that book, so he can just spout it. He's like bleeding Billy Graham, but with Hansard's this one. So anyway, he's saying, well, this happened, and they only got 20 days. Listen, I don't care how many days he got. They should all be bleeding far, the whole lot of them. Those children and all the people that were sent deliberately from hospital, knowingly infected, back into care homes. Yes! And then Mr. Hancock and all the ne'er-do-wells and the shares in all the pharmaceutical companies and one thing and another that none of us are allowed to know about or talk about, so we best not. Let's concentrate on Boris. Oh, Boris, you've got a really bad haircut. He is to us what Trump is to bleeding America. And that's not to say that I like or dislike either of them. I don't care. In fact, they're quite enjoyable because they annoy everybody. And I do rather like people that annoy other people. Yes, I do. Call me strange. But anyway, I'll leave it there for two viewers. Yes, so now he's got to resign and his career's over or something or other. Wishy-washy he's won the day, hasn't he? Yes, he has. He's brought the team home and yes, he's snatched up all the trophies on this one on Wishy-washy. Because they are all absolutely cacking themselves for next year. I think we're all cacking ourselves for next year because you lot are on the off, and it means we're going to get Sir Pier Bleeding Keir, the antisocial socialist. Yes. So there you go. Bye for now.